Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the first episode of Beautifully Lost. Our today's topic is really important, and it is people and their definition about who you are. First of all, I literally went to sleep yesterday, and before I fell asleep, I couldn't fall asleep again. And I had this big insight about my life and how I was defining myself, how I was portrayed, and how I was defining myself based on the thoughts of my family and people around me, and how it changed with time and me growing up. I had the biggest insight, and I'm like, I need to tell people this because it's so important. And I was having my eyes opened wide yesterday, but I really want to share it. I love sharing my experience. I love helping people. I want to tell you about the name. Of course, I didn't come up with it by myself. Our favorite AI helped me, but yeah, I think it's okay to use it as a tool to help you structure your thoughts. It's okay. When you don't give the full responsibility to AI, it's okay. He helped me to come up with Beautifully Lost, and I completely love this name, not only because it sounds great, but because we are all lost, and it's okay to be lost. We are looking for ourselves our whole lives. We are finding ourselves, and then we think that we finally know who we are, and then something happens. And we need to grow again, and we change the definition of ourselves again. So, life is just a series of looking for yourself and defining yourself again and again. And in this darkness, the only thing that can help you and the only thing that can lead you is your own light. And it took me so many years to find my light. And I think that I can help you by sharing my experiences. Maybe I can help you to find your light or to brighten it. So, I'm so excited. It feels like a brand new chapter because I was sharing a lot of my thoughts on YouTube already, but I have never done it in a form of podcast with a topic. And just, yeah, and you know me, I love yapping. I can talk for like hours if I'm comfortable. I'm glad you're here. I hope you like it, and I hope I will help you somehow. So, yeah, let's go. So yesterday I was lying in the bed. I was trying to fall asleep. And as it is, when we go to sleep, usually the most insane thoughts are coming to us, the biggest insights, and because our brain is in this flowing state. And yesterday I was lying and I was thinking about how when I went traveling, multiple people started to tell me that I am a bright person, I am sunny, I have great energy. And I'm like, I know, I feel that, but I have never considered myself as such person. And I was like, but why? Why haven't I? I don't think I was, yeah, I was different when I was a child, but I couldn't be that much different. And I understood that it's because of my family. It's because of the circumstances I was living in. In my family, I was the rebellious one, the willful one, the headstrong one, the one who doesn't listen to anyone, the one who has their own opinion, and the different one, just the different one, the one who will do things as I believe it's right to do them and not as I was told. And I felt like in my family I was always the powerful one, and I was always acting from the side of power, that I need to protect myself and I need to defend myself. And a lot of times things were unfair in my family. I was treated unfair, and I was called egoist in my family. And I am the furthest thing you can possibly be from the egoist, because I am really empathetic. I feel people, I feel their emotions. I see why they're acting the way they do. I know what they're feeling. I often I often understand people better than they understand themselves. I can see through people. I always felt the emotions of my family. I felt the hurt. I was always trying to help them when they needed, but of course it wasn't like for 100% because I'm not talking about housekeeping things. We had problems with that. I'm talking about taking my brother and spending time with him so my whole family could rest, everyone except me. I asked him to come to my house. I was living in another city, so everyone could rest, and so my brother can rest. And so they all can live peacefully a little bit. And the only one who wasn't living peacefully is me, and I knew that because it's hard. Children, it's hard to live with children, especially when they are like almost teens. So, and I knew that I will be the only one for whom it will be hard, but I did it for my family because I knew that I live peacefully now as I moved out, but they do not, and they need the space, and I wanted to give them because I knew that they need it. After that, I was called egoist, and I'm like, sorry. And I'm like, but why? If you're calling me that, you don't know me at all. Of course, I have an ego, but I'm not an egoist, and I have never been. And often, when you spend most of your time at home, for example, at specific circumstances, it's hard to not it's hard to define yourself or to start defining yourself differently because you live with people who have these opinions about you and you can't change them. So I understood that when I was living with my family, I was defining myself as a powerful person who needs to protect my opinions, protect myself, protect my emotions, who needs to hide to keep me safe, to keep my light safe. I felt like I am in a cage, but it was the only way for me to survive. Okay, I'm not saying that my family is bad. I love my family. As I moved out, as we got distance, our relationships got perfect, you know. But as I was a child, as I was a teen, it was hard for me to live with my family, especially because we lived with our grandparents, and often our grandparents have a completely different view of the world. Their lives were much harder. Often their lives were much harder, and they just don't want to widen their perspective, widen their horizons, and they try to keep you safe, actually, or to give you qualities that they think you need to survive in this world. But the world has changed, and they don't really accept it and they don't really understand it, and it's understandable because they live in their own world. But we have a completely, as a new generation, we have a completely different world. We have completely different understanding of this world. Yesterday, as I understood this, I'm like, what? I have never been considered as a bright, kind, super, like, a great person, even though I always was. It was just I wasn't defining myself as one because most of the time I was living in circumstances where I was supposed, where I needed to be powerful, when I needed to be protective of myself, and it was constantly like this. And then when I left and when I started to live separately, I started to redefine myself as a new person, especially when I left for traveling, where you don't have any people who expect of you something, so you can understand who you fully are without expectations of others. When I went traveling, people who I was meeting, they were saying that I am such a bright, sunny person. I am super kind. I have such a great energy, and I'm like, I've always wanted to be this person, but and I consider that I am this person, yeah, but I was like wondering why I hadn't considered myself this person before. And then I was struck by the answer because I'm just really sad for myself because mm, as an empathetic person, you feel everything on a deeper level than others. The only option for you is to be in a constant state of defending yourself. It's hard. It's really hard to live. It's the only way you can exist in the certain circumstances. So the main lesson of this episode is to not let people define who you are. No matter what other people say, you are supposed to be the one who defines yourself. You are supposed to be the one who defines yourself, not other people. They don't know you. You know you. You know what you're feeling. You know who you are. Other people don't know you. And also, I have this YouTube channel and I record vlogs. And then my relative, one of my relatives, watched my vlogs, and this person was like, "You are so cool in those videos. You're so open. You are so different. You are not like this in real life." I'm like, I am. No, I am like this in real life. And this person was like, but why are you not like this with us? You are always quiet and like, you are quiet and you are defensive and you're like everything. I'm like, yeah, because everyone is screaming all the time around me. What am I supposed to do? Like, of course, I am trying to defend this light inside of myself. I'm trying to defend myself by not acting, by not showing my happy parts in the moments when everyone is loud. It's the way of me to protect myself, and I am like this in real life. I am excited and I am creative and I am happy and I'm sunny and I'm vulnerable. It's all me, not that what you see. You only see me in the state of defense. It's not me. It struck me yesterday. I was really, I don't know, it shocked me. And I'm like, oh my god, Polly, I'm so sorry, like that you had to live in it. But I'm grateful to my family. I'm grateful that I was born into my family, because I became, I'm a really powerful person. I became really powerful. It helped me to find my light, because when you live in this constant loudness, when everyone is screaming, when everyone is hurt, when there's tension at home all the time, the only thing you can do is to find this light inside of yourself. Is the only thing is to you can do is to be next to yourself, is to defend yourself and to be there for yourself, and to be this light for yourself. I know that some people become angry when they live in this tension in the toxic household. They become angry, they continue this angriness, they spread it into the world. It wasn't me, but it's not because they are bad people. It's because it was the only way they knew how to deal with this. They don't know how they can do differently. And you can change. You can. Or you always can. But it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work to change. And it was hard for me. I had to change also. I wasn't like this all the time. I was caught up with this anger and hurt. I was also like this. I remember I have a little brother. I am 11 years older, so I was like his second mom. I was also screaming at him. I was beating him. I'm not proud of this, but yes, I was I was toxic, I was manipulative. It's not because it's who I am, it's not because I'm a bad person, it's because um this is the only way I knew how to do it. It's because I saw it. I was raised like this, and I didn't know how can I do differently. But then I started to work on myself, and I started to understand that when I do these things, when I scream, when I manipulate, I hurt myself also, because this is not who I am. And so I started to work on myself, and it was hard. I was crying a lot. I was hurt. It hurt a lot. It's easier to numb those feelings. It will not make you happier, but it's easier not to deal with them than to deal with them. But you need to understand that the only way for you to live happy life is to deal with this. Yes, you need to go with this, you need to dive in this, but as soon as you deal with this, it will not take you as long. you will be happy, you will be able to be yourself, and you will be able not to be defined by by this hurt, by people who hurt you. It's your decision. You are an adult. It's your decision if you want to keep on living like this. And often people keep on living like this uh, until they die, like their whole lives, because they're not able, they don't have the instruments to deal with this. And that's why people who hurt you, if you have a toxic family, those people are like this not because they don't love you, not because they hate you, they love you. They just don't know how to love you differently because they were loved this way. They didn't deal with this. They don't know how to love you differently. They are adult for the first time also. No one taught them how to be an adult. This is the only way they can. And you need to understand this. It's not their choice. Their choice is to stay in this and to continue being like this, yes. But it wasn't their choice to become like this. It's never a choice. Yeah, I started to dive deep into this and it was hard. It hurt. I needed to accept that I can be wrong. So people in my family don't say I love you. Maybe, but really rarely, but I don't remember anyone saying I love you. Maybe on birthdays or like, I don't know, once a year. And I love my brother. I was asking my mom to give me a sibling, and it was hard for me to say I love you to him, even though I did, even though I felt this love. And I had to learn how to. I wasn't taught how to. I needed to learn how to. I apologized to him. I said, even though he's little, he's a child, came up to him and I said, brother, I'm sorry. I did this and this, even though he could have even not remembered this. I don't even know because he was little when I was like this. And I apologized to him. I said, I'm sorry. I will try to be better. I will try to be different. Was it easy for me? No. It was freaking hard. It was so hard because often children can piss you off and like lead you to the edge, and you just you you hold it and then you explode. So I needed to, when I felt this way, I needed to take a moment. I needed to breathe, and I learned how to voice what I feel to him. I said, "Okay, brother, please leave me alone right now because I'm this really is pissing me off and I'm gonna explode. I don't want to scream at you, so please give me a moment. I need please stop irritating me." Like he was doing stuff, yeah. uh, I am not saying, I will not say that I'm often like this and that I fully became this perfect sister. No, he is still. I'm exploding sometimes still, okay, but it's rarely. It happens rarely, and I'm trying to control it. I'm not perfect, okay. My brother is also grew up in my family, so he also wasn't taught how to deal with his emotions properly. I'm trying to teach him, but it takes time. I also have emotions, and I also feel anger, anxiety, anything. Yeah, when I felt like I want to say a lot, I love him at first. I'm telling you, I felt like it's so vulnerable to say it to him, and I was trying to say it when no one hears it. I was trying to say it uh, really quiet, so none people from my family hear it except my brother. It was that bad. Like I didn't want anyone to hear it because I was showing them my vulnerability, and I didn't want to because I was still in a state of defense. If you remember, I was still living with my family, and it felt like if I show them my vulnerability, they will hurt me more, and it was like this. Like, so I was trying to stay as far as I can, mentally. Oh, it's a really hard topic, honestly, because I remember what I was feeling. It wasn't that bad. I want to repeat again that I love my family and I'm grateful for them. But especially in a Slavic space, in the post-Soviet space, there are a lot of people who were really hurt and who were told to live one way, and they're just trying. Like, when you were in Soviet Union, you could survive only by following the rules. So this is their way to they want you to survive in this world. That's why they want you to follow the rules, but they don't understand that it has changed. You're not sup- Yes, of course you're supposed to follow some rules, but you're not supposed to follow all of them, and the rules have changed. You're not supposed to, like, for example, you're not supposed to marry to survive anymore, like you did before. You're not supposed to create a family to survive. So it was really hard for me to say I love you to my brother, but I was continuing doing this. And there was a period of life, when toddlers have this period when they always say no. And so, yes, it was such a big lesson for me. It was hard to let alone it was hard for me to say I love you to him, but he was always answering, no, I don't love you, even though he did. At first, when I started telling him I love you, he was answering that he doesn't, because he was in this period of toddler's life when they always say no. But then, in a few months, he started to say that he loves me too, and he started to say, most importantly, he started to say that he loves me first, and he still does. And me and my brother, are the only people in our family who says I love you to each other. My brother learned how to say I love you, so sometimes he says I love you to other people in our family, but mostly it's towards me, and like it's between us. And I was the one who started it. If I didn't, my brother wouldn't be saying this. So, everything starts from yourself. Also, when I started to work on myself, and when I understood why it's really important to understand that people who hurt you 90%, okay, maybe not 90, but most of the time, they don't want to hurt you. They are not doing this on purpose. You need to understand why they are like this, why they're acting like this, because there is always a reason. This was my actually problem, because I'm so empathetic. I understand what people feel. That's why I often was justifying people who hurt me. I was like, yeah, but they did it because they feel this and this and this, and because they're like this, and because they had hard time. And I was like, I was still leaving them in my life, and I'm not talking about family. I'm talking about like other people in my life, like romantic relationships and friends. I understood why they're acting like this, and that's why I was forgiving them. And you're not supposed to forgive them, even if you understand why they're acting like this. It's great that you understand their behavior and the reasons for this behavior, but it doesn't mean that you're supposed to forgive them. It doesn't mean that you're supposed to save them. You are not a savior. You understand, you accept, you may forgive, but you need to love yourself enough to let those people go. You cannot save the person who doesn't want to be saved. That's what I learned. If you live in toxic household, I understand how hard it can be, but you need to find this light within yourself. You are the only one who can save yourself from these circumstances, from this household. You are the only one. And it was really hard for me. But honestly, in the hardest period of my life, I learned how to be happy. It blows my mind. But there was a period of my life when I wanted to leave. I couldn't at the time. I remember I was crying almost every day, because I'm a really vulnerable person. I am really emotional. I am really empathetic. And for me to live in this tension, to live in the household where everyone hates each other, it's hard. I couldn't take it. I was crying even if I heard that someone is arguing, someone is screaming and hurts each other, because it hurt me. It hurts me, especially when it's towards my brother, because I understand exactly what he's feeling, because I've been through the same thing. And I was defending him also, but then I understood that I'm not defending him. I'm trying to defend my inner child that knows how it feels. And I needed to stop because I was hurting only myself. Nothing was changing. I'm not his parent. I'm sorry. I'm not his parent. Of course, I'm trying to help, but I cannot be the adult who's responsible for this, you know? At that period of my life, I learned how to be happy. I remember I was going to the park because I couldn't be at home. I was reading, and I remember I was just learning how to enjoy the small things. I remember feeling the sun on my skin, the wind, and I was just happy in the moment, like truly happy. This was a period of my life when I learned happiness, not when everything was great. When everything in your life is great, you get used to this. It's hard for you to notice the good things because you're so used to them. It's hard because happiness is in the small things. It's not in the things, it's in the small things. And it's hard to notice those small things when everything is okay. But when everything is not okay, you start to really appreciate those small things you have, when you can just relax, when you can just exhale and just be. Best thing you can do in your life is to learn from every experience you have. I was watching the podcast yesterday, and the woman said, and I was thinking about it a million times, and she said it, and I'm like, yes. So she said that people often ask me, if you go back, would you change anything? And she's like, no, I will not change anything, because those experiences shaped me. Those experiences made me who I am. And I'm like, yes, exactly. I'm thinking the same thing. I would never change my family. I would never change people who hurt me, the experiences that hurt me. I've learned from every experience I've had. From every romantic I had a lot of romantic situationships that hurt me a lot, and I've learned from each of them. I took something with myself from each of them, and I became who I am, and I started to love myself and appreciate myself because of those experiences. I love myself because of them. I became who I am because of them. I see people this clearly because of those experiences. And the most important thing you can do in your life is to know how to learn from those experiences. Because those experiences are not given you for no reason, no matter how hard it is. It is only because you can go through it. It wouldn't be given to you if you couldn't, even if it's hard. No matter how hard these circumstances are, if you have this bright light inside of you that leads you, you will never be lost. You will never be lonely. You will never be scared that your life will fall apart, because you will know that no matter what happens in your life, you have this concrete inside of you that will always hold you in place, this light that will always lead you, this light that will always keep you warm. You are the only person who can be there for yourself, and it's the most important thing you can do in your life, is to brighten your light, is to have this concrete foundation inside of you, that no matter what happens in your life, you will always know that you can always come back here, and this foundation will always keep you safe. Other people cannot do this, because if other people are your light, it sounds basic, but you are the only person who will always be next to yourself. You are here when you come to this world, and you are here when you leave this world. And even if you will find someone, a lover, a friend, no matter who will always be here for you. First of all, they will not be able to be always here for you because they also need to be here for them. But people tend to live our lives. If they do not walk out of your life, people die. So you need to find this light within yourself. You cannot give this responsibility to other people because you will be disappointed. So, no matter who it is, a lover, a friend, family, close person, important person in your life, you're not supposed to let anyone define who you are. Because even if they say something good, until you believe that you are, for example, they say that you are kind, you are creative, you are great, you will not believe it until you feel it, until you define yourself as these things. No matter what other people say, only what's here is important. It can be good and it can be bad. If you think that you are a bad person, that you will not succeed, you will not. Trust me. No matter what other people tell you, no matter how, no matter if they tell you that your art is great, that you are great, that you will succeed, you will not, because you don't believe in it. You will never feel it. You will never accept it. The other side, if you believe that you will succeed, that you are strong, you are creative, you are capable, you are great, you are kind, no matter what other people say. They can say that you are mean, that you are a liar, that you're a bad person, that your art is shitty. That it doesn't matter, because you know who you are. You know that you are a great person, that you're kind. You know that your art is important, at least for yourself. It will not matter if you know who you are. So it doesn't matter what's happening out there. Only what's happening here matters. So if you will invest in something, you need to invest in this concrete foundation inside yourself, in this light. You need to invest in yourself, in keeping you safe, in loving you. You will not be happy until you do this. Trust me. I'm really happy that I'm doing this. I wouldn't be I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't believe in myself. I wouldn't be doing this if I felt like I have nothing to say. If I felt that what I'm saying is stupid. Sometimes I feel this way, and it's okay. I'm still working on myself. I'm not perfect, as I said. I still can hurt myself. I still can be bad to myself, and I can be bad to other people. But the difference is that I accept it. I accept that I can be bad. I accept that I can hurt myself and I can hurt others. But I can always analyze this. I can always apologize to others or to myself. And I'm trying to do the right thing, even though it's not always how it is. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for watching this episode. Tell me your thoughts on it. Maybe you have more questions. Maybe you have some topics you want me to talk about. Please tell me in the comments. I'm really excited to be recording this. I'm really happy with this new project that I've started. It feels really big, and even if I will get 10 views, which is possible, I will continue because I enjoy talking to you. I enjoy talking on camera. Even if 10 people will see this podcast, and if one person will think, oh my god, yes, she's right, or oh my god, I need to change something, or it's possible for me to change something, or there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Even if you had this thought, if you were inspired, if I helped you somehow, I'm already happy because I've helped someone. One person, it's a lot. Because, one person can help other people. You help one person, this person helps 10 people, those 10 people help 10 people, and you make the world better. So I think it was such an important topic we brought up today. Yes, thank you for staying with me, and see you in the next episode of Beautifully Lost. Love you. Have a good day. Bye.